Episode 4 of Champion begins with Bosco on tour. He has PTSD from his time in prison. He hears a gunshot, is in a daze, and even attacks Mehmet. He doesn't listen to Honey's ideas of her solos, and she is fed up. Meanwhile, Mark books Vita for an interview with Matthew, who is a nightmare. She rushes out and runs into Yemi. Her artist is doing Soul Session live because Vita's team said no. Yemi gives her a pep talk and Vita is motivated. She puts Matthew in his place and goes to an after-party with Yemi. They wonder why Mark doesn't take Vita to fun places and Yemi tries to poach her. As for Bosco, he is barely holding it together. At the next venue, the rules are no drugs and constant police supervision. Meanwhile, Dawn accuses Barris of using Bosco's money for his personal expenses. She hints that Bosco may break. At the party, Vita sees Laurent and they have a fun jam session. Mehmet keeps texting her but she ignores him. She asks Laurent about the managers as she is in a dilemma. He suggests that Yemi is honest, but Mark knows what he is doing even if he is not fun. Some rowdy-looking guys, led by Rusty, show up at the venue and the cops try to stop them. Even Mehmet is cold, but Bosco welcomes them as Rusty was his inmate. Mehmet keeps an eye on Bosco so he doesn't get stoned with him. Barris takes his concerns to Arya not because he is worried for Bosco, but so the champion legacy doesn't fail. They need to focus on Vita now and tells Arya to get Dawn to manage their daughter. Arya is convinced after he says their kid shouldn't make the mistake they did. After Rusty leaves, Bosco goes back to his spiraling. Honey gets the short end of the stick as he doesn't register her ideas but makes a move on her before she shuts him down. Arya meets Vita, who is touched when the former compliments her new song. Arya wants to do what Barris says, but doesn't after Vita confesses that everyone wants to use her. Instead, she tells Vita that she should listen to herself. Elsewhere, Bosco runs off and meets with Rusty. He feels caged and tells him about his PTSD. Rusty understands and advises him to say it through his music like he does. At that moment, Bulla goes live to pick on Bosco running off. Rusty is surprised by the rivalry and suggests that he has some blackmail material to one-up Bulla. At home, Vita is confused by her mother being all philosophical. Barris shows her a music video of Arya when she was 21 and the record she had released. Vita is surprised and wonders what happened. Barris says she made wrong decisions and this is why Dawn should manage Vita. But this just confuses her further. At the concert, Bosco is missing for 2 hours and Honey finally goes up. She starts rapping and the crowd is hyped up. But when the light goes out, they return to chanting Bosco's name. He finally shows up with Rusty and they rap together on their shared experiences. Upset, Honey leaves and joins the girl band. On stage, they put the spotlight on Bulla and Rusty reveals that Bulla was a cop. Angry that his secret is out, Bulla runs off. Backstage, someone gets in his way and a fight breaks out. Laurent and Vita drink together. He tries to make a move but backs off when she says she is tired. She tells Yemi she needs to be still for the moment and ignores yet another text from Mehmet. She decides to hook up with Laurent anyway. Meanwhile, Bosco and Rusty party after the performance. Mehmet is angry with his recklessness and Rusty sneaks out. However, the cops come to arrest Bulla and even search Rusty for drugs. Mehmet wants to leave alone but takes Bosco with him. However, a drunk Bosco quickly gets in the driver's seat and refuses to stop the car. On hearing Rusty is in trouble, he tries to call him. At the end of Champion Episode 4, the car crashes. Mehmet is alive while Bosco doesn't move. The episode review. Champion Episode 4 is getting pretty wild. Everyone is out to use Vita and the only one being honest is a sound engineer she just met. Even her own mother is not honest though she does have that change of heart. Barris is hilarious with the way he tries to further his endgame no matter if his son is spiraling or his daughter is lonely. Bosco is finally putting his own skills to some use. Though, he must have had some talent with that rap battle with Bulla. Rusty helps him tap into his pain and fear and channel it through a creative outlet. Though will the car crash end up being a setback? Only time will tell.